All right. Hello, everybody. We're back with OM for the Holiday Summit. I'm Tanya Milano Snell, parent coach, and the host of the summit. So I'm here talking with Guinevere. I hope that's how you say your name.
You got it perfectly.
And she is going to be one of the speakers for our summit. And we're talking about just how unique all of these conscious parents can be. And that's kind of the idea of conscious parenting, is that no family is alike. So I wanted to showcase just how different all of our families can be. And we're coming together to kind of celebrate the holidays in our unique ways. So to get started, I just wanted you to introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do. And then you can tell us about your unique family design or makeup.
Okay, sure. So you can call me Gwen. It's so much easier than Guinevere. It's way easier to spell too. I am by trade, I'm a doctor of audiology. And everyone always goes, what's audiology? It's hearing science. So I used to do a lot of hearing aid fittings, hearing aid tests. I would fit kids and adults with hearing aids. Kids who've had ear infections all the time. I worked in an ear, nose, and throat office. So and they needed a lot of testing for those kids. But insurance got really crazy. And I got to a point in my job where I felt like I couldn't recommend, or what I was recommending was not being accepted by insurance companies. And then I was having to change my recommendations just so that it was covered by insurance. And it just didn't feel good to me anymore. It wasn't the reason why I got into the field. So I switched paths. And what I focus on now is financial coaching in the realm of creating a life by design, creating a life that you truly love, because everyone needs money and there's this stigma about money, but really it's just the energy that we exchange in order to have the things that we really want in our lives. That's what I do now.
I love that. So much comes up as you're speaking, because I'm a teacher, and the whole, the hearing and the speech and all this stuff that isn't covered by insurance, like you said, and we can talk about that stuff later. But the financial planning is really, really going to be beneficial during this summit, because, like you said, I love what you said about energy exchange. We have such places of discomfort with money, and when we can shift our look at it, then it opens up huge possibilities for us.
Absolutely. I love that.
So what's your family like? Like, where do you live? Who's in it?
Sure.
What do you do day to day?
So we're in New Hampshire. I'm from Massachusetts, but we kind of crossed the border into New Hampshire. And it's all girls. So it's me and my husband. And then we have two daughters. One just turned 7, and then the other one is 4. And then we have 2 dogs who are also girls. So my poor husband, or maybe not my poor husband, all of us in one big happy family together.
Mm-hmm. And is it true that you homeschool as well?
Yeah. Okay. And it actually was accidental. Well, nothing in life is accidental, but we were kind of forced into homeschool in 2020. So that was my first year of homeschool. And I kind of decided that I really like being the one that influences my children every day. And I actually enjoyed homeschooling. I mean, there are parts where it's like, oh my God, it's me 24/7 and I'm just feeling overwhelmed. But most of the time it feels really good to be with my kids in a time where I know that they're going to grow older at some point and they won't always want to be with me. So we have enjoyed it. This is our 2nd year homeschooling, and I do enjoy it.
Awesome. So for the summit, we're talking about kind of our unique way to come together for the holidays and create like this unity and this universal energy together. So could you talk a little bit about some of the things you do as a family? And I know with a 4 and a 7-year-old, it's developing still, right? It's like shifting each year. Mm-hmm. So what stands out to you?
So we actually downsized into a condo in 2019. thinking that it would make our lives easier, right? We didn't have to do any outside work. I didn't have to mow the lawn. We didn't have to do all that stuff. And we would have more time together. And then 2020 happened and we felt really restricted in the condo. And we decided that, or we figured out that like one of our values is having outside space. And we didn't have that in the condo. So it was kind of funny that we realized that after downsizing in order to, so last year we bought a home with 8 acres and my kids are outside every day. We're outside every day. And that's one of the things that we love to do with each other. Like across the street and in our backyard are snowmobile trails. So we'll just follow the snowmobile trails. We'll go hiking. It's part of our homeschool every single day to get outside, do a nature journal. I mean, just, knowing what you know about grounding and taking in vitamin D from being in the sun, that's one of the most important things that we do every single day. And I feel like really lucky that, my husband can't be there every time. He's a firefighter. So he has a funny schedule, but on the days that he can be there, we're outside as a family and working together and doing projects outside and all that stuff. It's really special.
Yeah, special. My kids are older now, 9 and 5, not too much older, but I was with them during those early years. And so it's bringing out such special moments, and we still do get outside a lot. But I'm envisioning that, animal tracking and nature journaling, and we just love that kind of stuff for the winter months and connecting to the seasonal changes that are happening.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Really has. I didn't know how much I needed it, if I'm being honest. At first it was more of like, let's get the kids outside, but it really is a lot for me too. It's nice.
Yeah, the grounding energy, like you said, especially when you're with your kids all day. It's
Yes.
like that nervous system needs that, it craves that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Do you do anything specific around the holiday season to come together with immediate family or extended family, like traditions?
Yeah, one of the reasons, so I actually hate the cold and I would much rather be like basking on the beach in Hawaii. But the reason why we stayed here in New England is because we have family in all of the New England states. So we have, Thanksgiving we host, and so we bring everyone together here. And actually in the past year or two, there have been a lot of grandparents who have left us. And so that's been hard. It's not really my family, although it's my husband's side, but they kind of took me in because of my grandparents passed before I got to know them. So it does feel like it's my own family. And my kids are old enough to, to start to know them and to start to be attached to them. And it was kind of a hard transition for them to understand that they're not coming to Thanksgiving this year,
Yeah.
things like that.
Do you have specific things that you put out for the holidays, or recipes or crafts or anything that kind of bring that family memory?
We don't have any recipes or crafts, but I was thinking about this. My husband's tradition with the girls is they're reading through the Harry Potter series right now. So they're in book 5, and that's his special time with them. He'll come home and he reads that book with them. So what they're using as the bookmark is his grandmother. So my kids called her great grandma, the prayer card, which is, kind of sounds a little ridiculous, but every time they open up that book, my daughter gets to hold the prayer card and they think about great grandma and they talk about great grandma. And so she never leaves our side. It's like she's always around, but I haven't thought about doing specific crafts. It definitely puts some things into mind for us to start incorporating.
I love that daily, because we put so much pressure on ourselves that the holiday season has to be memorable and special and joyful, and it can be just that simple thing of the prayer card day to day, like the little reminders, right? That keeps the spirit alive. And
yeah,
my husband's grandma was big on cookie making, so she had like tons of recipes, and she would make tins and tins and tins and boxes and give everybody she knew cookies. So each year we try to do like one recipe. It's like that is a lot of work. But
yeah, that is a lot of work.
So just to keep that spirit alive of like, she was the cookie maker in town, like everybody knew her. And to try some of the recipes that are now probably 50 years old or yeah, like
Like that's crazy when you think about that, you know, it's like, okay, it's just a cookie, but it's like a recipe that came from her mother and down the line.
yes.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
in the book we have Joy of Cooking. It's like,
Oh yeah.
I think it's like copyright 1930 something.
Yeah, my mom has that book. It's blue and it's falling apart at the spine. And I'm pretty sure that her mother gave that to her when she got married.
Yeah, so it's just those little things that so tiny, but it keeps it going. And Harry Potter is big in our family too, by the way.
They're obsessed right now. They're on book 5. So they're like,
Yeah, we just finished them all and did all the movies. And
cool.
Taylor, my daughter, was Hermione for Halloween.
Yep, mine was too.
Here comes Tegan. Hi, buddy.
Hello.
So, as part of this summit, we're talking about doing, you know, this sneak peek into my Own for the Home conscious families. And money is a big part of a family. So I wanted to bring you in and talk about what services you provide that help with families. So if you could talk about your services a little bit and then what your workshop will be like for the summit.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, okay, so where I focus a lot of my energy, and this is just because this is where I had to focus a lot of my energy to get to where I am, is on debt payoff. You know, I feel like it's normalized. Everything's a debt, right? You could buy a car. Anybody can buy a Rolls Royce. You just put it on credit. If you drive on the highway and you start to look at like what cars are around you, I mean, I think I read a statistic like the average car payment is over $500, like $568. And then I think like, how much could $568 bless a family? You know, so many of us are saying, if I just had an extra $500, if I just had an extra $1,000. So debt is like this huge thorn in my side that really got me started. So I focus a lot on helping people ditch their debt. And what I'm really, really good at is helping people find money that they didn't think they had in their bank accounts, first of all. And then second of all, using that extra money to slay a debt in like 30 to 90 days. Most of my clients have gotten rid of at least one debt in that short amount of time. So that starts this snowball where you get like this quick win in your finances, and then you feel really excited and really motivated to keep going. So most people take that one, you know, most of us don't have just one debt. Some of us do, and that's fantastic. People worked really hard to get there, but most of us are drowning in debt and really just need to get ahead so we can get that extra money, because we're realizing that, again, that money is just an energy exchange, but we all need to have money in order to do things that we want to do. And so I focus a lot on really knowing, what does your dream life look like and how are finances going to help you get there? What do you actually need in your financial situation to get you where you want to go? Because your situation is going to be completely different from my situation, right? I might value outside time. And so maybe we want to buy a snowmobile and that's like huge for our family. How do we get there? And you might value, who knows? I don't know, tractor pulling. And so you want to buy a tractor. I don't know. But you know, it's looking at everyone's individual situation. And so I have this great program that focuses on helping you ditch your debt, and then how to start looking at your future and how you can start planning and setting goals for your finances. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And what's coming up for me is, you know, I have this conversation with my husband almost every year about this time. Why have we not made our Christmas fund every single year?
I know.
We're going to spend about this much money every year. Why don't we start in January and put like $100 a month or whatever it is?
Yep.
Instead of scrambling now, right? So I think that's where we are at this point in the summit, is like, wow, we see what we need to do. Yeah. And do we have any like tangible things we can do with this moment right now? Like, so
That's what I'm going to walk you guys through in the summit too, is like, all right, so I don't even want to know how close we are to Christmas. 3 weeks? Is that where we're at? So we've got 3 weeks until Christmas. What can you do right now that can at least help you in the next couple of weeks financially? And even if it doesn't like physically help you with a dollar amount, it will start to help you mindset wise and start to kick you off on going into January. Because this is what I've been telling people in the past couple of weeks. So this year, January 1st, I decided I'm done with debt. Like I'm done. I'm going to work on it. And in 5 months, we paid down $25,000 in debt. And here I was thinking that we were living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so it's possible. It's possible. And then we just crossed the $55,000 mark in our debt pay down. So that took us about 11 months. And I completely lost my thought of where I was going with that.
The setting us up for January, little things we can do, mindset. Yeah.
It'll all come full circle. I don't know where that thought went. But anyway, I think what happens is we think it's not possible and we get in this rut and then, oh, I know where I was going. So what I realized was as I'm paying off credit cards, there are gifts on that credit card from last Christmas that I shopped on Black Friday and Cyber Monday being like, I'm getting a huge deal. It's a 40% discount. I'm gonna put on my credit card because I don't have the money for it right now. And a year later with interest, I probably didn't end up saving any money on that purchase. So it's kind of like a kick in the, or a punch in the gut. But that's a good realization, right? Because now we know how to fix that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That stood out to me. I listened to one of your talks recently and that stood out to me. It's like, yeah, we see all these deals, we want them. And yet if we don't have the money, does it really make sense to jump on it? Right.
Yeah. It is hard. It's a really big mind game. And that is like one of the first things you really have to start working on and be conscious of.
All right. So we have your workshop Monday. And if you're not in the summit yet, the link for registration will be in the description of this video. So make sure you get in there. The replays are going to be from December 10th to the 15th, and they'll be all in there for free. And thank you so much, Gwen, for coming in and talking about your family. And I'll see you at your workshop.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Bye.